For today, as I mentioned, some of the things that we're going to be talking about, just accessing BrainPop. If you have not used it, as a reminder, students and you will need to sign in through Clever. Once you do that, how you can access your classes. Classes will be pulled in automatically from PowerSchool, so they will update automatically as well. That's just something good to know for right now, and then as well as in the future. Those classes should match the classes that you see in Clever. Next, we're going to look at actually finding videos, so searching by keyword and exploring some of those topics. And I'm going to focus on BrainPop today. I'm going to try and go over to BrainPop Jr., but a lot of things that we're going to do in BrainPop will be the exact same thing in BrainPop Jr., with the exception of some of the activities that are available obviously will be a little bit different, but the process will be the same. So just keep that in mind. If you are a K-1-2 teacher and you use BrainPop Jr. more, all of these steps are going to be the exact same once you get into BrainPop Jr. Then we'll look at actually assigning things to students. So giving them an activity to do within BrainPop. And that's something called the assignment builder. And that's going to allow you to maybe connect some of the pieces that you'd like for them to complete. Once it gets assigned to them, we'll look at what that actually looks like for students. So I grabbed some screenshots from a few teachers. Now, because we're on a recorded webinar, I'm not going to actually go into a teacher's live account like I would normally if we were an IIB, just because I want student data privacy. I don't want student names up on this recording and that kind of stuff. So we're just going to sort of stay in a general BrainPop account and not anybody specific. So as a reminder, to get started, you're going to start in Clever. That's where you're going to log in. So when you log in with Clever, again, we're going to choose login with Active Directory. This is going to be the exact same thing for students. Once I'm in Clever here, if I scroll down under instant login applications, BrainPop, BrainPop Jr., and BrainPop ELL, those will all be options under my instant login applications. And as I mentioned, I'm just going to get started in BrainPop. If you're following along during this webinar, though, you have another window open, you're welcome to open up BrainPop Jr. if that is the primary one that you use. Like I mentioned, this is all going to sort of be the same across all of our platforms. So then exploring some of the content, again, at the top, and if you've used BrainPop in the past, nothing has really changed here. At the top, I have all of my topics that I can begin exploring, but I can also search a keyword. So let's say we're studying plants. So if I just do plants in general, obviously that's a pretty broad topic. So I have a whole bunch of options that I can begin exploring. So we'll just say seed plants. And then as the teacher here, I can watch the video. And some of you may have been doing this. Maybe when you had students sitting in your classroom, this was something that you guys did together. You watched the video together and then you maybe did some activities. I know I was in classes that we did that. But now we're looking at, okay, a student might need to watch this video on their own time and then actually participate in those activities independently. So over on the left-hand side here, I have my video. As a reminder, the videos also have closed captioning, which makes it very nice. And then on the right-hand side, I have any activities that might go along with my video. So I've got a quiz, and with the quiz, students can do a review quiz, or they can actually do a graded quiz. And students can still do these quizzes even if you don't assign those things. So just a reminder there, students can still do this even if you don't assign it. They can also make like a concept map. They can make a movie. Creative coding, we don't actually subscribe to, but I think BrainPop right now has jumped on the bandwagon that a lot of other companies have, where they've made things free. So this might be something that is free right now. We also have items like primary source, related reading. There are worksheets in here, and with the worksheets, they are going to be something that you might be able to print out for the students. So keep that in mind. If you are printing out packets for kids, this is an option within BrainPop as well. Graphic organizers. Here's another activity in here. And with this graphic organizer one, this is one that is interactive. So the students can actually, they can type in here. And that's the same thing with this, like make a map and make a movie. Those are a bit more interactive and something that the students would be able to do online. Vocabulary, and then the last option we had there was a game. So there are several options here within BrainPop in order to just engage the students in a little bit of content. So as I scroll down here, I'm also going to, if I don't maybe want to watch the entire movie, I can look at a movie transcript so I can just maybe see what content is covered within that. And then I also have related topics that might be helpful for the students. As soon as I got in here, I skipped the first thing I told you I was going to do, which was show you where your classes are. So let me back up for a second. And if I come back onto my home screen for BrainPop, and up at the top here, I have dashboard, I'm going to see teacher dashboard. And for all of you, I'm not a classroom teacher, but for all of you, you will then see how I have test class here. You will actually see one of these little blocks for each of your classes in PowerSchool. So that means all those classes that you have assigned to you in PowerSchool, you're also going to see a BrainPop class for those. So if you're looking at having the students participate in BrainPop assignments, I would just maybe be very intentional and clear to the parents and to the students which class in BrainPop you're going to be assigning things to. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so back to my content. So let's say I'm going to do social studies and we're going to talk about famous historical figures. So I sort of explore in here. I find somebody that I like. This is the content that I want to give to the students. So up at the top here, it says teach this topic. And I believe this teach this topic used to be at the bottom, but now it's very clear at the top there. And I'm going to click the orange assign button. And so now I'm in this assignment builder area. And this is really nice. It's very slick, super easy to use. So currently I have assigned to my students the Eleanor Roosevelt movie. So you can see one added here, Eleanor Roosevelt movie. If I would also like for the students to do the quiz, I can click on the quiz and I can say, maybe I just want them to do it as a review, or I can say I want them to do it as graded. So that is both, I've assigned both the review as an assignment and the graded quiz as an assignment. Maybe I'd also like for the students to study the vocabulary, and we'll say, oops. Actually, yeah, we'll go ahead to make a map, and then I'm just going to do this assign make a map, and that will then be added. Okay, so here's what I've added. I added my movie, I added 2 quizzes, a review and a graded, make a map, and vocabulary. So I can add additional items in here. I could really assign all of them. The students can still do these activities even if it's not assigned, but it's going to track that stuff then. And then I'll click next. I can give directions if I need to. I can also reorder the quiz. So maybe they're going to do the review quiz first, then we'll do vocab and map, and then the graded quiz last. I can select a due date if I have more than one class. I don't. I have a test class. I don't have any students in that test class, so of course it's not going to let me assign this. I can add a due date if I would like to. I can schedule it for later if I want it to actually come out later, and then I'm going to click assign, and that will then be available to students. So that's a very easy, I just want to assign one video with some activities for the students. Additionally, if I come back in, let me go to BrainPop Jr. for this example. So BrainPop Jr., and I'm going to choose maybe science. I'll go back to my plants. And we'll talk about parts of a plant. So as you can see, BrainPop Jr. is fairly similar in terms of it's got our video here, it still has closed captioning, and then instead of it being on the right-hand side, this time it's below. We have some quizzes, we've got our make a map, the students can draw, write, have an activity, there's some games that are in here, and then related topics at the bottom. But at the top here, I've got assign. And again, as I mentioned, you're going to see the same kind of functionality between the two. And I have my assignment builder. So let's say I just actually, for my, like, let's say I'm teaching first grade, for instance, or kindergarten, and I want to just give them some movies to watch that might be all about plants. So I've added this movie here, but let's say I don't want to just do one movie. I want to add additional movies. So down at the bottom, and I had this option in BrainPop as well, I'm going to add a topic. It's going to give me related topics. So let's say plant life cycle. That seems good. And so now I'm going to see this here. I've got two options, or I've got two movies that I've assigned. So parts of a plant and plant life cycle. And I'm going to assign the movie now for plant life cycle. So I've sort of built almost like a unit, several items within here. If I want to add an additional topic, so I can go back and add another topic and say maybe plant adaptations, and do the same thing and assign the movie. So now I've assigned 3 movies to my students. When I'm ready, obviously, then I'll go through those steps of adding instructions. Here's my movies, adding a due date if I'd like to, some instructions for the parents, some instructions for the students, and then I click assign. So you are able to add not only multiple components of a movie or of a topic, but you can also add multiple topics together, which is really nice. It gives you a little extra functionality then within BrainPop. So let's talk about what it looks like then on the teacher side. So on the teacher side, once I've assigned these things, and this is where I'm going to get into actually just showing you guys a screenshot from a teacher. So this teacher has assigned a few BrainPop activities. So you can see here, this is, and you guys will probably know what this looks like, science and social studies, health 3, and then it would say your name after that. And then this assignment, so she's labeled it temperature assignment. And down here on the left-hand side, you've got assignment progress. And it's going to show the temperature movie that she assigned, and it looks like 5 students have done it. And then we look at, she's assigned the easy quiz, the hard quiz, the word play, and write about it. So this is a BrainPop Jr. activity. And she can see very quickly at a glance how many students have completed it. Over here on the right-hand side, she's then going to see the students' names, and those are all blurred out for security, but she's going to see the students' names in the first column, and then she's going to see the status. So a check mark indicates the students have completed it. Not done indicates the students have not done that activity. So this will do not only the assignment total, right? You're going to get assignment progress total, but she's also going to be able to see each of those individual things that she added within her assignment builder. She's also going to get analytics on all of those activities as well. So she can see here for the assignment progress right up at the top, 3 students have completed the assignment and 18 have not completed the assignment. So this was an earlier assignment. She can also come in and edit that assignment. She can actually view it as a student. She can copy that assignment link and maybe put it in Classroom, remind students or remind parents in an email that the students have this assigned to them. And then she can also hide the activity, which means that maybe the activity or the assignment is done. It's expired. So from the student side, once a student gets into BrainPop, and I tried to pull up what it would look like for my son here. Once a student gets into BrainPop, they're going to also have that dashboard where you all have a dashboard and it would have your teacher stuff. They're going to have a dashboard and they're going to see their student stuff. So if anything is assigned to them, it's going to show under assignments. So that's where the students will be able to get that content. So keep that in mind. It's not going to push to Google Classroom, but students will be able to see within here that they have a BrainPop assignment. If they've done any projects, my son has maybe made a couple movies after videos and stuff like that. Those projects will show there as well. And then the timeline is just going to give them basically a digest of what they've done, over the last few weeks within BrainPop.